Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Monday, March 10th. Well, the big story this week will be a storm system on Monday that will bring some significant rainfall to the I-95 corridor. But as much colder air moves in on the backside of that low, the rain could very well change over to snow, even in the I-95 corridor later Wednesday night into early Thursday. There's even the chance for some small accumulations that could cause some slick spots, let's say from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border on north and east. The most significant snowfall with this midweek storm will come in the interior sections of the northeast U.S., upstate New York and New England, for example. Maine, for example, could end up being the bullseye area with up to a foot of snow possible across much of Maine later Wednesday night and early on Thursday. Before we get into the midweek storm, there's a weak system coming through right now. You can see the latest radar loop from the Penn State EWOL site. Some scattered snow showers and even some rain showers, maybe some ice pellets mixed in, headed down towards southeastern Pennsylvania into New York. Much of this is not even reaching the ground, but there certainly can be a rain or snow shower from Philadelphia north and east over the next couple of hours. It then becomes much milder this afternoon, noticeably milder than it was on yesterday. Well, here's the latest U.S. surface map. High pressure down across the south central part of the country is starting to set up a warmer flow of air coming out of the west or southwest in the middle part of the country, and that milder air will certainly be noticeable around here in the mid-Atlantic region. Even this afternoon will be, again, considerably milder than it was on Sunday, but the highest temperatures will likely occur Tuesday afternoon with 60-plus degrees in many I-95 corridor locations. Meanwhile, lots of moisture. They've been really getting deluged out in the Pacific Northwest over the last several days. This activity slowly moves across the Central Plains and then plays a role in the storm system that affects the Mid-Atlantic region on Wednesday into Thursday. Well, here's the latest infrared satellite imagery loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. A couple main things to point out. First of all, lots of moisture out here over the Pacific Northwest in the interior west. A flow of moist air off the Pacific Ocean. And again, this ultimately drives to the south and east and plays a role in the midweek storm here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Meanwhile, lots of clouds associated with this weak system coming through right now. And again, north and east of the Mason-Dixon line, there can be a rain or snow shower over the next couple of hours. Remaining mostly cloudy this afternoon, but noticeably milder. Some Gulf of Mexico moisture starting to gather itself here across the western Gulf and even into the south central part of Canada, Texas, and that too plays a role in the midweek storm system. Well, let's focus in on the Wednesday-Thursday storm system here in the Mid-Atlantic region. This is from last night's Zero-Z GFS model on the forecast map for Wednesday morning. Low pressure will be intensifying over the Ohio Valley. Notice this, I typically use this as a rain snow line way up across northern Pennsylvania at this time come Wednesday morning. So no problems at all in the Mid-Atlantic region in terms of rain versus snow. It certainly will still be mild for much of the day on Wednesday. 60-plus degrees likely on Tuesday afternoon, and some areas could actually touch 60 degrees early to middle part of the day on Wednesday before the rain starts, and certainly before the colder air comes pouring in during Wednesday night. This is the forecast map again for Wednesday morning. Some light rainfall possible during the morning hours, but the heaviest stuff holds off till the afternoon. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours. And here's the forecast map for early Wednesday evening. That low pressure area traveled from the Ohio Valley to almost right over the Philadelphia region to just about the eastern shore of New Jersey here by Wednesday evening. When the storm comes that close to Philadelphia, it's not a good storm track for snow. You'd like to see the storm track farther to the south and east. It's one of those situations where it will rain at the onset and for much of the storm. But on the back side here, notice at this time already this blue line here now all the way down into southeastern part of Pennsylvania. Just 12 hours earlier, it was way up across northern Pennsylvania. Some very cold air on the backside pouring in behind this low pressure system as it pulls off the coast. And again, it's quite likely that the rain changes to snow in the I-95 corridor in the overnight hours of Wednesday night. Can even be some small accumulations causing some slick spots. The significant snow with this storm will occur upstate Pennsylvania, interior parts of New York, and throughout much of New England once you get away from the coastal areas where there will be mixing issues. But places like Vermont and New Hampshire and much of Maine could get a foot of snow out of this. Let's now jump ahead 12 hours to Thursday morning. Well, here's the forecast map for Thursday morning. That storm off the New England coast, some heavy snow falling at this time throughout much of interior New England, all the way back into New York State. And even by this time, it's cold enough for snow all the way to the coast in places like New York City and Boston as the storm pulls away. And Thursday will be a very, very cold day for this time of the year. You can see the flow of air between this departing low pressure area and this Arctic high in south central Canada. Just a strong wind out of the north to northwest on Thursday. Temperatures will be hard pressed to move out of the 20s in much of the I-95 corridor, perhaps touching the 30-degree mark in Philadelphia, which is way, way below normal for this time of the year. And one of the things we'll have to watch over the next day or so is the backlash effect on the behind this storm system. The GFS is kind of lagging now with some of the precipitation in the cold air, and this is causing the possibility, or will create the possibility, of snow to linger into the early part of Thursday. Now, the European model and the Canadian model tend to not have this lagging precipitation in the cold air. In other words, primarily rain from the European and Canadian model, and then once the cold air comes in, the dry air comes in at the same time. That reduces the chance for any kind of accumulations in the I-95 corridor. The GFS, however, is tending to lag some of this moisture in the cold air, allowing for the possibility of some snow late Wednesday night into the early part of Thursday. So big changes coming, very mild by Tuesday afternoon, 60-plus degrees in most I-95 corridor locations. We start off warm on Wednesday as the rain moves in, but once that low shifts to the north and east of the I-95 corridor, colder air will pour in. The rain changes to snow, at least for a brief time, Wednesday night into very early Thursday. Perhaps even some small accumulation with some slick spots from the Pennsylvania-Maryland border on north and east. And the rest of Thursday will be brutally cold for this time of the year. Well, that's it for now. For the SIweather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.